Here live once again, we are introducing series number 118 out of the Park Baseball 20. Glad you're with us to introduce two more teams and have it out for some more exciting baseball action in the best of seven series. So our introduction is going to come here with our first team, the 1990 Chicago Cubs, a team close to my heart as I grew up in the Chicago area and remember this team very well. Led by Don Zimmer just a year after their division championship in the NL East. 1990 wasn't as productive. Cubs only won 77 games and finished in fourth. The magic just wasn't there for them in 90. Losing record, although some of the big names in Chicago were still, of course, playing. Mark Grace hit 309 there with 82 RBIs. You'll see here Hall of Famer Andre Dawson, one of his higher averages at 310 with 27 homers and 100 RBIs. The big star on the team was Ryne Sandberg, who hit 40 homers and an even 100 RBIs. Won the home run derby that year. Was a very, very big star. Probably his best year ever. Hit 306, 354 on base. Even stole 25 bases. So a big year for Sandberg. Sean Dunston, also part of the mix there in the infield. Dwight Smith fell off a little bit, as did Jerome Walton from their magical seasons in 1989. Another Hall of Fame star, of course, is the ace of the team, Greg Maddux, with 15-15 here. 3.46 ERA, over 200 innings, struck out 144, only walked 71. 8 complete games, 2 shutouts. Maddux, at 24 years old, was showing off some of the magic that was to come, but it was the years right after this, one more with the Cubs, he would win the Cy Young, and then, of course, with the Braves, domination for over a decade. So Maddux was coming into his own here. Still quite good in 1990. The rest of the rotation, problematic for Don Zimmer a little bit. Mike Harkey, however, at only 23 before his arm issues, was 12-6. He pitched pretty well, but only made 27 starts. Mike Bielecki, 8-11, struggled in his 29 starts. Sean Bosky, 5-6, he got 15 starts. Steve Wilson also got 15 starts. And Mitch Williams got 16 saves, but was a weak 1-8. Blew quite a number of saves that year and was not at his best as the Cub bullpen struggled mightily, and that was one of the reasons they just could not get it done in 1990 as they'd done a year earlier. So the Cubs, some Hall of Fame talent actually, but not the greatest record. We'll see how things play out with their opponent drawn, and that's going to be the 1949 Philadelphia Athletics, still led by Connie Mack in what seems like maybe his 50th season or somewhere around there managing the team. 81-73, a good year actually for the Athletics. Their Pythagorean record a little bit worse than that. They finished 5th in the American League. Looking at their lineup, some of their talent, you can see here Elmer Valo with 12 triples, 27 doubles, hit 283 with 85 RBIs. Sam Chapman, 108 RBIs, 24 long ones, 278 average. Ferris Fain and Pete Suter also had RBIs in the 20s, and the WAR leader was Eddie Juiced, who had 81 RBIs with 23 home runs, 263 average out of the shortstop position. Wasn't a young team. They were up over 30 with most of their talented positions. Even Wally Moses here at 38 was able to get 370 at-bats. Pretty typical of a Connie Mack team. He'd like to bring the veterans in, the guys that he knew best and trusted, and maybe also the ones that he can pay a little bit less as they were coming down towards the end of their career. Here you see a 21-year-old Nellie Fox on the team who would have an outstanding career. I don't know how much we'll see of Nellie Fox, but he is on the roster. Pitching-wise, a 20-game winner here, Alex Kellner, 20-12 with a 375. 19 complete games for Kellner. Joe Coleman had 30 starts. 13-14, Lou Brissy won 16 games. Dick Fowler also there. Bob Shantz coming out of the pen, but he also started in 7 games. So as is indicative of the era, a lot of different pitchers starting. but it was Kellner who won 20, and Lou Brissy there, as we mentioned, with 16 wins. So in an era where the Athletics were not great, they actually put together a decent team in 1949, and they will be the favorites in this series as they play the first 2 games at home at Shibe Park before we head over to Chicago. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cubs do with their stars against a team that actually had a better record than they did. Game 1 is going to feature Greg Maddux against Joe Coleman. Should be a good one from Shibe Park, as Maddux will be a tough cookie to crack for the veteran Athletic hitters. So all ready to go here. Best of 7 coming at you here between the 1990 Chicago Cubs and the 1949 Philadelphia Athletics. Don Zimmer versus Connie Mack in a managerial battle, and a series that we are looking forward to. So let's get it started. Cubs and Athletics coming up. So here we are live at Shibe Park. We're already in the 4th inning. This is a pitcher's duel, as might be expected. Brian Sandberg up there, only 3 hits in this ball game so far. And Sandberg's going to line one deep to left field. He's going to break the tie. Home run, Sandberg deep to left field. It's 1-0 Cubs. Sandberg drills that one out of the park off Coleman. And Chicago's got the lead here. They break the seal. We're to the 6th inning. Now Sandberg up again with the man on first. The game's still 1-0. And Sandberg's going to line it up the middle for a single with a man on. So Sandberg comes through again. It's 1st and 2nd here with Sean Dunston and only 1 out. And this one's hit too short. Play at 2nd. Relay to 1st. A double play for the Athletics to end the threat here. We will move now to the bottom of the 7th inning. Greg Maddux pitching a 2-hitter. He has 1 out with Sam Chapman at the plate. Maddux has been brilliant so far, but he walks Chapman. Chapman gets on base here. He's the tying run. Eddie Joost is the hitter. Post goes to 2nd. Sandberg's got it. Relay Dunston to Grace. Double play for the Cubbies. And this inning's over, so Maddux continues to cruise. It is still 1-0. We move to the 8th with Jerome Walton facing Coleman, who's also pitched brilliantly today. This one's in the hole for the center fielder with the leadoff hit. Walton on first, and here's Sandberg again, who's hit the only difference in the game with the home run. This is dropped in the right field. Walton's going to make it all the way to 3rd, and we got runners on the corners here with 2 outs. And the Cubs have a chance to increase their lead. Sean Dunston up with 2 outs. And Dunston hits it to 3rd. The play will be made the short way, however, and Coleman gets out of the threat, and this slim 1-0 lead is still intact for the Cubs. Maddux facing Ferris Fain now. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. This ball's drilled to center field, a base hit. Fain gets on. He represents the tying run. Pete Suter, the hitter. Maddux delivers. This ball's hit to the shortstop. Double play again. The Cubs turn it. Maddux gets the twin killing he needs once again, and now 2 outs here in the 8th inning for Wally Moses. Maddux continuing to pitch well. However, this one's drilled deep to right. It will be caught, however. Out there's Andre Dawson, and he gets it. So the 1-0 lead continues. We're in the 9th inning. Fowler has come in to pitch now for the Athletics against Dwight Smith. Smith will hit this one to 2nd, but no way the play could be made. The ball died on the infield grass. So runner on. 2 outs here for Maddux, who's going to hit for himself. Zimmer won't dare to pull him. And he hits this one down the right field line. That'll get down. Dunston's going to head around 3rd. He's going to try to score. It's going to be a triple for Maddux. Maddux helps his own cause with a triple score, and Sean Dunston, it's 2-0 Cubs. What a way to come through here for Maddux. Actually, the Cubs put up 3 in the inning. And Maddux here looking for the complete game shutout. Facing Elmer Vallow here, the bottom of the ninth inning, a three-hitter. Maddox delivers. This is hit to Dunston. Play is made. Game over. Greg Maddox, a complete game shutout for the Cubs. As they win game one of this series, you couldn't ask for a more brilliant performance from the Cub right-hander. Outstanding in the victory. He went the full 9 innings, allowed only 3 hits, struck out 1, but walked only 1 as well. Was very efficient, and of course with the bat he came through in the 9th inning and drove in a run to open up a 3-run inning for the Cubs. Joe Coleman pitched very well but took the loss. The Sandberg home run broke the tie there in the 4th inning. 3 for 4 for Rhino with the long ball, and the Cubs, using their superstars as fuel, move on here now with the game 1 victory and set things up for game number 2 as Lou Brissy will take the mound for Connie Mack and the A's against Mike Bilecki. Bilecki is no Maddox, so the Cubs might need some more offense in this one. But either way, the Athletics find themselves in a hole. Let's see what happens in game 2 as the Athletics and the Cubs battle it out, and Chicago looking to go up 2-0. From Shive Park, we have game 2 for you here with top of the first inning action. Lou Brissy on the mound against Jerome Walton to lead off this ball game. Wind blowing out to right, 10 miles an hour, and that's where Jerome Walton goes, deep to right. This ball is up and gone. Home run for the Cubs center fielder to lead off this ball game. 1-0 is the score. Brissy lets up a home run to Walton. Bottom of the first now. Mike Bilecki, the Cubs pitcher. Vallow answers with a deep drive to right. He's going to tie this game up with a solo homer to right field. Vallow turns the trick, and this game now tied at 1 with 2 solo shots to almost the identical spot. 3rd inning here. Walton back up again here against Brissy. And Walton this time goes the other way to center field. He'll drop that one in. Jerome Walton with a double here to lead off the 3rd inning for the Cubs. It's their 4th hit. Nobody out, but the Cubs cannot capitalize. We'll move bottom of the 3rd. Elmer Vallow up there. Runner on first. This ball's hit back to the mound. Play will be made at second, but there's an error. The throw is offline, and they're going to rule the runner safe here as Bilecki tried to make the play, could not make it, will be charged with an error. And with 1 out now, Hank Majewski with a big spot and a big chance. He takes ball 4. So Bilecki, his own worst enemy here in the 3rd inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1 out. And Sam Chapman at the plate. And this ball gets away. Wild pitch. It's going to give the Athletics the lead. Mike Bilecki just imploding with an error, a walk, and now a wild pitch. And Eddie Juist is up there to try to really do the damage. There's another walk. So Bilecki completely off of his game. The Athletics doing it all without a hit. Here's Ferris Fain. Fain is going to hit this one to Dunston, who makes the play. And that will end the inning. But the run scores on the wild pitch. It's 2-1 Athletics. We move to the 5th. Girardi, the hitter, with nobody out. 0-2 pitch. Girardi goes to right field. That's a fair ball with a lot of room in the corner. Girardi in the 2nd with a double. The Cubs catcher, giving them a good start here to the 5th inning. He's on 3rd now with Jerome Walton up and 1 out. Infield in. Walton is going to lift this one to left field. Catch is going to be made. Runner will not tag. Vallow gets the ball in quickly, so Walton can't get in the run. Here's Mark Grace. Grace takes ball 4, so the Cubs will have runners on the corners. with 2 outs for Andre Dawson. The Hawk will hit this one to right field. That ball's dropping quickly. It will drop for a hit. So Dawson ties this game up with an RBI single to right field. It is now a 2-2 ball game, and Sandberg has a chance to put the Cubs up here. He drives it to third, but the play's made there by the third baseman. Majewski, a nice play, but the Cubs do tie the game. This is a 2-2 ball game. We move to the 7th. With Girardi again to lead off the inning against Brissy. And Girardi goes to right field. That ball's going to drop, so Girardi another hit. Leadoff single for Joe. Here's Doug DeCenzo to pinch hit. He hits it to second. Play's going to be made there. Force out at second. Play can't be made at first, and Jerome Alton back at the plate.
Strike 3, here!
Alton strikes out this time. We'll move bottom of the 8th. Still a 2-2 game. Eddie Juiced facing now Les Lancaster, the Cubs reliever. Juiced goes to center field with the man on. That's going to drop. So 2 singles here for the Athletics in the 8th inning. Still nobody out. Paul Ossenmacher has come on now to face Ferris Fain. Lefty versus lefty matchup. But this one's hit to second. Sandberg makes the play. Relay to first. Double play there. Rhino starting the twin killing. So Pete Suter now with 2 outs against Ossenmacher with a chance. Suter takes ball 4. 4 straight bad ones there for Ossenmacher. And Wally Moses, the hitter in this tie ball game. Moses hits it to center field. That should be playable. Jerome Alton's there. So the Cubs get out of this jam. Good work by Paul Ossenmacher. The game remains tied at 2 as we move to the 9th. Dwight Smith facing Dick Fowler. And Smith goes to left field with a single and lead off the 9th. Good speed, good start for the Cubs here. Luis Salazar's the hitter. Salazar goes into the hole. That ball's through. And here comes Smith all the way to third. So the Cubs, cooking now, have runners on the corners. Nobody out for Dave Clark, who's going to pinch hit. Now the bases are loaded. Clark's going to go to second base. They get the force at the plate, so Clark can't come through. And Jerome Alton now with a chance, 1 out and the bases loaded, infield in. Walton lifts this one to left field. I don't think that's going to be deep enough. Vallo's got it. So the Cubs cannot get the runs in with less than 2 outs, and it all falls down to Mark Grace. Can the Athletics get out of it? It looks like they can. A nice play by the shortstop, but the throw gets away. It looked like Juiced had the play, but the throw is off of the base, and the Cubs will score the run on an error. It looked like that was going to end the inning. It did not. The Cubs take a 3-2 lead, and the inning continues here with Andre Dawson at the plate. Dawson will line this one into left field and really make the Athletics pay. A 2-run single by the Hawk, and the Cubs have broken it open after the error. It is now 5-2 Chicago. We'll move bottom of the 9th. Still more drama as Mitch Williams has 2 men on and Sam Chapman at the plate with 2 outs. And Williams comes through, strikes out Chapman, and the Cubs have won their 2nd straight game of this series. This one in dramatic fashion. They put 3 runs up in the 9th. And win it 5-2 to take both games at Shibe Park and take a impressive 2-0 series lead in this series. Brissy, the pitcher for the Athletics, went 7, allowed 2 earned runs. Bielecki settled down after some rough moments and only allowed the 1 earned run. And Joe Girardi was actually 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. But it was the Eddie Juiced error at short with the bases loaded off the Mark Grace ground ball that cost the Athletics, and then even more so Dawson following up with the base hit to left that scored 2 and put the Cubs ahead for good. Mitch Williams closing the door. And the 90 Chicago Cubs and Don Zimmer celebrating as they head back to Chicago. They are up now 2-0. After the Maddox gem, a little dramatics in Game 2. And Connie Mack and the Athletics have their work cut out for them now as we head to Wrigley. Alex Kellner, the Athletics' maybe best arm, takes the mound against Mike Harkey. It's Game 3 from Wrigley. Can the Athletics respond, or will it be the Cubs who continue marching on with a third victory? Now live at Wrigley Field. We have here the top of the first inning with a runner on second for Hank Majewski against Mike Harkey. And Majewski will go up the middle. That's a base hit. Runner's going to round third, and the Athletics take the lead off Harkey here in the first inning. 1-0 Philadelphia. Eddie Juiced now up, still in the first inning with 2 on. Juiced also goes up the middle, but Dunston has this one. He takes it himself, and with that arm makes the double play. So the Cubs get out of the inning, but the Athletics score 1. We'll move now to the bottom of the fourth. Andre Dawson against Alex Kellner, who's been good so far. And Dawson will line a single to left field with Grace on. It'll be first and second with 1 out here for the Cubs. And Ryan Sandberg is at the plate. Sandberg hits it to third. Play's going to be made there. Force at second, so Sandberg avoids the double play. But runners on the corners here now for Dunston. Fans on their feet here as Dunston has a chance. He looks at strike 3. Kellner gets him looking, and that will end the fourth here in Chicago. 1-0 to score. Philadelphia in charge. Now it's 2-0. Hank Majewski up there with 2 on and 2 out. Majewski will go up the middle. That will also get through. That's going to score runs, so it's going to be 3-0 now, Philadelphia. Majewski having a good game. 5-0 our score now. Bases loaded as Kevin Blankenship has come in relief. Facing Sam Chapman. And Chapman lines it deep to center field. This ball is going to go all the way to the wall. The parade continues for the Athletics. They now go up by a big score and a big lead. It is 7-0. Juice still playing here up at the plate in the 6th inning, and this one's lined into the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. 2 more runs. It is 9-0 Athletics. Completely drubbing the Cubs here in game number 3. It's all Philadelphia. They've broken it open here in the last 2 innings. Bottom of the 6th now as Kellner continues with 2 outs. But Sandberg gets into that one. That one's deep to left field, and that will get over the wall. 2-run home run for the Cubs star. Sandberg gets a 2-run shot, 9-2. We'll move now to the bottom of the 9th inning. Luis Salazar up there with 2 outs. Facing March Hilden. And this ball is down the line, but an outstanding catch out there by Moses. Wally Moses makes a diving catch to end game number 3. It was all Athletics today. They bang out 16 hits and get right back in this series with a shout. Hank Majewski 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Kellner was great on the mound. He struck out 7, got the win. Sam Chapman 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs as well on this day. And it was all Athletics. They put it all together, hammered Mike Harkey and the Cubs. And the road teams continue to play well in this series. And right now, it is all up for grabs again as the Athletics have made a series of it. And moving now to game 4, it's going to be Sean Bosky for the home team going up against Bobby Shantz in what's going to be a crucial game number 4. The Athletics trying to tie the series while the Cubs look to continue their advantage and maybe have a chance to end it at home in game number 5. So let's head out there and see what happens at Wrigley. The 1990 Cubs versus the 49 Athletics. Here comes game number 4. Pitching duel now. We're in the 4th inning, bottom of the 4th to be exact. Ryne Sandberg up there with 2 men on and nobody out. Sandberg lines this one to center field, but that's going to be caught. Chapman with the play. A 1 out now for Shawon Dunston. Dunston will go back to the mound. There's the play at second. Relay to first. Not in time. Force is made at second, so now it's up to Dwight Smith with runners on the corners. And Dwight Smith flies it to right, so this will be playable. So the Athletics get out of the threat in the 4th inning unscathed. Keep the game scoreless. We'll move now all the way to 6th. Shawn Boskie has been wonderful. 1 out now, he faces Majewski. And Majewski lines one deep to left center. That's got some carry all the way to the wall, looking up and gone. Majewski continues his outstanding couple games here in Chicago with a solo home run in the 6th inning to put the Athletics up by 1. Suter now up there with 2 outs and 2 on, looking to break it open. He grounds it to third, however. Play's going to be made there. Salazar makes the out, so the game remains 1-0 as we move on here. Bottom of the 6th, Mark Grace facing Bobby Shantz. And Grace will line one into the gap. That's going to be extra bases all the way to the wall. Grace has a double here to get things going in the 6th inning with a 1 out. Cubs looking to come back. Andre Dawson, the hitter. He's been quiet this series. Strikes out here with a good chance delivery, a changeup. So 2 outs now as Sandberg is the final hope of the inning. And Ryne Sandberg flies out again to right field. So once again, the Athletics out of any kind of trouble. We move bottom of the 7th. Still a 1-0 game. Dwight Smith with a 1 out and at the dish. Lefty versus lefty. Dwight Smith deep to center field. That's going to be extra bases. Smith has a 1 out double here in the 7th for the Cubs as they try to rally back. Luis Salazar now the hitter. Salazar hits it into the hole. Tough play to be made there. It is, however. Juice makes a beautiful play. 2 outs here for Joe Girardi. And this is fly to right field. Should be playable. It is. And the Cubs just cannot get the clutch hit that they need in this ball game. We'll move bottom of the 8th. Still 1-0. Doug DeCenzo up there pinch hitting to lead off the inning. Gant still on the mound. And this is hit to short. Play will be made there. DeCenzo's gone. 2 outs here for Mark Grace. Gant has been brilliant. Grace will drop a single to center field with 2 outs. Austin now the hitter. Austin leaves one to right field. That's going to drop. So first and third, the Cubs again threatening. And they break through here with 2 outs. Ryne Sandberg at the plate, their best hitter. Here's the delivery by Shantz. Sandberg hits it to center field, but someone's right there. The center fielder's got it. Chapman backing up. The Athletics continue to hold the 1-0 lead. We move to the 9th. Harris Fain is the hitter. And he singles to center field as the Athletics look for some kind of insurance. We'll move bottom of the 9th. Outs. Dick Fowler has come in to close the game. Shawon Dunston's the hitter. Strike 3 inside corner. Dunston's gone. What a display here by the Athletics and their pitching. Dwight Smith now the hitter. 1 out. 1-2 pitch. Smith is gone outside corner. A beautiful curveball, and now Fowler's 1 out away. Luis Salazar, the last hitter here. Salazar hits it to short. Juice got it up and throws. Game over. 1-0 win here for the Athletics. They tie the series up at 2, and they do it with their pitching, completely muffling out the Cubs. And the Hank Majewski home run was the difference in this ball game after a great pitching battle, and Bobby Shantz going 8 strong innings, not allowing a run. Sean Bosky was good for the Cubs. Mark Grace went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, but believe it or not, could not get a run home or score himself. Fowler closed out the ball game. And just like that, this series is all even. The road team has won each of the 2 games they've played away from home. And we are guaranteed to head back to Philadelphia for Game 6. But before that can happen, we finish off the rounds here at Wrigley Field with game number 5. Joe Coleman will take the mound against Greg Maddux, who is here to try to save the Cubs again, as he did in Game 1 with his shutout performance. The Athletics will have their hands full, but they have guaranteed now they will return home, so they got everything to try to beat Maddux, but it is not do or die. More so for the Cubs, who do not want to go back to Philly down, losing all 3 at home. So game number 5 coming up. Let's see what Maddux has in store for the Athletics. Series tied at 2. Game number 5 from Wrigley Field coming up. So our series tied at 2. We're at Wrigley Field for game number 5. Top of the first inning. Greg Maddux facing Sam Chapman. And this is laced to center field. It's going to go over the head of the center fielder. There's going to be a run around in third. He's going to score, and the Athletics get on the board first here in game 5 off Maddux. Chapman with an RBI double. So this game moves all the way to the 5th inning as the pitching duel commences. Jerome Walton up there with Maddux on first base. Still 1-0 Philadelphia. And Walton goes to third. That's going to be an infield single. Dive and stop there by Majewski, but he's got no play. So we got runners on first and second. Mark Grace up for 2 outs in the inning. And Grace will lift this one to right field, but it's going to be playable. Right there is Moses, and the Athletics again holding on to this 1-0 lead, just like they did in Game 4. It's 2-0 now as we move to the 6th inning. Andre Dawson against Joe Coleman, who's pitching brilliantly in this one. But Dawson comes through with a liner deep to right center. That's off the top of the wall. So Dawson has a leadoff double here in the 6th inning as the Cubs try and rally. Offense has been stymied for Chicago for a while now, and Sandberg up there trying to get a run in. He takes ball 4, so the Cubs have first and second here with nobody out in the 6th inning. A big opportunity. Sean Dunston at the plate.
Strike 3.
Dunston swings through and strikes out. 1-2 fastball by Coleman. Dwight Smith now the hitter with 1 out. Smith will line this one to right. That ball's going to be caught. However, a diving catch out there. Moses makes a diving headlong catch. And that is another great defensive play. Here's Luis Salazar. Salazar hits it to left field. That'll get through. Dawson's going to round third. He's going to score, so the Cubs do get on the board. Luis Salazar makes it a 1-run game with an RBI single. And here's Joe Girardi. Girardi goes to first. That'll be playable, however. Biasetti makes the play, and it's 2-1 here at Wrigley. Bottom of the 7th now. Dawson back up there. Bubba Harris is the new pitcher. And Dawson will line this one to left, but it should be playable. It is caught. Vallow has it to end the inning. Bottom of the 8th now, still 2-1. Sandberg now facing Carl Schellep. And Sandberg hits it deep to left, way back there. We have a tie ball game. Home run for Sandberg. Ryan Sandberg, Rhino, really comes up clutch here to tie the game late in the 8th inning. It's 2-2 now. A very clutch hit. Carl Schellep couldn't get it past Ryan. And it is now a tie ball game as Sean Dunstan's up there. And Dunston goes deep to right. Will it be? Yes, it will. The Cubbies hit back-to-back home runs. And they've turned this game around here in the 8th inning. It is 3-2 as Wrigley gets on its feet. Sean Dunston the other way, following Ryan Sandberg. And it is 3-2 now in this 8th inning. Dwight Smith comes through with a single as the Cubs offense has woke. But we'll move to the 9th now. Mitch Williams has come in. It's a 1-run game. Mike Guerra up there.
Strike 3.
Williams strikes him out, so the Wild Thing has it going here early. 1 out. Pete Suter, the hitter. He strikes out, so Suter goes down, and Williams has struck out the first 2 men he's faced. Wally Moses is the last hope for the Athletics. There's a ball, and Moses gets on first base. He's the tying run. Astros now is at the plate, the catcher.
Strike 3.
There's strike 3, got him looking. Williams strikes out the side. Then the Cubs come from behind here to win game number 5, 3-2. Also taking the 3-2 series lead. It was the 8th inning comeback that did it, even as Joe Coleman pitched very well. 9 strikeouts in 5+. Greg Maddux let up 1 early, but stayed in it, battled, struck out 6 through 7. And Ryan Sandberg broke the ice. In the 8th inning, he hit a solo home run, 2 for 3 on the day, and Sean Dunston hit the home run that gave the Cubs the lead in that 8th inning. Both of them coming off of Schellep, who takes the loss. Paul Ossenmacher on the mound for the win, and Mitch Williams struck out the side in the 9th for his second save of the series. The Cubs salvage one of the games at Wrigley. More importantly, they're 1 game away from ending this series altogether. A great win, great comeback for the Cubs, but now we move to Shibe Park. And the Athletics now try to rebound. They did lose the first 2 games at home to the Cubs, games 1 and 2, and now they're back again. Mike Bielecki for the Cubs is going to face Lou Brissy. The Athletics trying to stay alive. The Cubs trying to close the showdown. 2 games to decide it. So let's see what transpires at Shibe Park. The 90 Cubs and the 49 Athletics so far in a very competitive series. Game 6 coming up. Will we see a Game 7 or will the Cubs take it all? Bottom of the 4th now. Pete Suter at the plate with 2 on and 2 out. And he hits it to short. That's going to be made by Dunston. So the Athletics still without a hit here. We move to the 5th inning. Elmer Vallow up there. Man on second, 2 outs. And there's a ground ball. That ball's going to be played by Dunston. Another nice play, but the throw gets away, and that's going to score A run for the Athletics. Sean Dunston with his rifle arm tried to rush it and threw it past Grace. Grace usually vacuums those up, but not this time. And it's 1-0 Athletics on the air. Still without a hit for Philly. Hank Majewski up there with 2 outs. Majewski goes deep to the left. That ball's up and gone. Home run, the first hit of the game for the Athletics, but the third run. Hank Majewski having a great series. He just put one over the wall. 3-0 Athletics here in game number 6. And Lou Brissy is sailing along as he faces Dunston here in the 7th. But Dunston rips it in the left field. That's going to get down. A run's going to score for the Cubs as they get on the board. Sean Dunston with an RBI double, scoring Andre Dawson, and this is a 3-1 ball game. We'll move to the 8th inning. Jerome Walton with the man on second, now 1 out. Walton looking to do damage. He hits it, however, shallow to left. That play is going to be made by Vallo. So we'll move bottom 8th. Elmer Vallo now at the plate facing Paul Ossenmacher. Lefty versus lefty. This is grounded past the first baseman for a single for Vallo. Leadoff hit here in the 8th inning. But we will move to the 9th. Ryne Sandberg facing Dick Fowler. It's a 3-1 ball game. A's getting close to forcing a game 7, but Sandberg gets into all of that one, deep to left center, out of here. Solo home run for Ryne Sandberg. Rhino cuts the lead to 1. It's 3-2. Here's Dunston with 1 out. Cubs trying to rally. And Dunston goes deep to left. That ball is fair, just inside the line. It's going to be a single for Dunston, who delayed it a little bit. I think he thought that was going to be a foul ball. But regardless, Dunston the tying run now on first. Here's Dwight Smith. Cubs still with a chance. Smith will hit this in front of the mound. That's going to be a tough play. Throw it a second. They get him. Great play by the catcher there. Astroth makes the play, and there's 2 outs now for Luis Salazar. Fowler looking to close it out. Dwight Smith on first base.
Strike 3.
And there's strike 3. And the series continues as the Athletics refuse to go down here in game 6. They stay alive, winning this one 3-2 at home. And tying this series up at 3 each. Lou Brissy, the hero today. He went 8 innings, allowing only 1 earned runs with 8 strikeouts. Mike Bilecki pitched well for the Cubs, but takes the loss. And Hank Majewski, the hero in this one, a home run, 2 RBIs. He was part of that big 5th inning where the Athletics scored all 3 of their runs. Fowler closed it out. A big error by Sean Dunston didn't help. And we, folks, have now a crucial and exciting Game 7 coming up, as this series has been back and forth, very entertaining. 2 very well evenly played teams. We see there the Cubs took the first 2. Philly came back with the next 2. Then the team split Games 5 and 6, and you can't get more even than we are right now. It's going to be Game 7, series tied at 3. At Shibe Park, Don Zimmer and Connie Mack getting their teams ready. Mike Harkey will take the mound for the Cubs, the youngster against Alex Kellner. Connie Mack puts his rotation in the perfect order where his best arm, Kellner, will take the mound for the Athletics, as Maddox is not yet ready for the Cubs. But anyway you look at it, 1 game away. Gotta love Game 7. Let's head out to Shibe Park to determine a winner of this series. So here we go with Game 7. Sam Chapman at the plate against Mike Harkey with a man on. We're in the bottom of the 1st inning. And Chapman drills this one deep to center, looking up. Goodbye. 2-run home run for Chapman here in the very 1st inning. Harkey left it up over the plate. We'll We'll move now to the top of the second. Alex Kellner delivers to Dunston. Dunston puts a charge in the one right center field, way back. Goodbye, baseball, home run, Dunston. He goes a little bit better than Chapman, 433 feet to right center for the Cubs shortstop. A big blow. It is now 2-1. Continuing here in the second inning, Dwight Smith on third. Joe Girardi with the infield in, lifts it to right center. That's going to get down, and the Cubs fight back and tie this up with a Joe Girardi double. Here in the second inning, they've got him to Kellner. We're all even here in Game 7. Ryne Sandberg, the hitter here in the third inning. And Sandberg deep to left. That might be, could be, is a home run for Rhino over the right left field wall, and that makes it 3-2 Cubs. Sandberg with a line drive home run. The Cubs all the way back now for the lead, and we'll move to the seventh. Joe Girardi is on third. Jerome Walton, the hitter. There's ball 4, so Walton's going to get on here. That was a 3-2 pitch that Kellner missed. Runners on the corners for Mark Grace. Grace lines in the one to center field. That ball's going to get down. 1 run in. Here comes Walton. Walton's going to round third. He's going to try to score. Jerome Walton turns on the speed, and it is a big 2-run double for Mark Grace. The Cubs will go up 5-2 here in the 6th inning. Chicago in the lead. Mike Harkey still on the mound here as Ferris Fain's at the plate. We're in the 7th. Fain will go down the line past the third baseman. That ball's going to be extra bases. Shy Parks has big dimensions here, and that's going to give Fain a chance to risk it for third, and he is safe. A triple for Fain. The Athletics get him home, but it's still 6-3. We'll move to the 8th now. Majewski against Harkey. And Majewski will line this past Grace, and that is going to be a single. So with 2 outs, Hank Majewski gets on, but cannot move any further from that. We'll move to the 9th here, where Clem Hausman is supposed to 1 out. Cubs a 6-3 lead. And Clark is going to line this one short there to drop in the left field. So Clark with a single off a full count. But we'll move bottom of the 9th. Now this is the last chance for the Athletics here in Game 3. Mitch Williams on the hill facing Ferris Fain with 1 out. And Williams close it down for the Cubs. That's a liner into the gap. Fain another extra base hit. He gets a double here with 1 out. But still a lot of work to do for the Athletics. Astroth now the hitter with 2 on. Ball for the Astroth, and Mitch Williams having all types of trouble here with 2 outs in the 9th inning. He's walked 2, and the winning run is at the plate. Todd Davis, the hitter. Bases loaded. 3-run game, Game 7 of the series. Fans on their feet. You cannot get more dramatic than this, folks. Bases loaded. Mitch Williams delivers. This is hit to the outfield, but it is not going anywhere. Jerome Walton is there. The Cubs win the game, win the series. Final score 6-3. The Athletics leave the bases loaded in the 9th. The Cubs pull through as they celebrate, making the upset happen. They win the decisive game by 3 runs. Mike Harkey gets the win. He had a rough first inning, but really settled down and pitched very well for the win. Ryne Sandberg with a home run and an RBI. Sam Chapman launched one in the first inning, but it wouldn't hold up. And Mitch Williams, in all the trouble that he had in the 9th inning, Don Zimmer stuck with him, and it paid off as the Cubs pull off the win in Game 7. They win the series in dramatic fashion. What a competitive series it was. Back and forth. Looking at the numbers here, first for the Athletics, Hank Majewski, 360 in the series, 5 RBI. Sam Chapman drove in 7. So they were the hitting stars there for Philly. On the mound, you can see there Joe Coleman and Lou Brissy, very, very good. ERAs both under 2. Dick Fowler and Alex Kellner, not as good. And Carl Schaeb there, he had his really bad outing, losing the ball game. I believe it was game 5, where Schaeb let up home runs late that cost his team. For the Cubs, Andre Dawson hit .345, even though he didn't go deep, but it was Ryne Sandberg who hit 5 home runs, drove in 6, and hit .321. That is the series MVP and was the big bat for the Cubs. On the mound, Mitch Williams had 3 saves. He walked 5 men and struck out 7 in typical Wild Thing fashion. Only Williams can put up box scores or box lines like that. Austin Mocker won 2 games, did outstanding work out of the pen. Greg Maddux with that big Game 1 performance in both his starts was pretty dominant, very dominant. Mike Bielecki good, and the Cub pitching really came through, as that was the difference in a lot of these games that were extremely tight. 1-0 game, 3-2 game, 3-2 game. There in the middle of the series, teams going back and forth. 2 very evenly played teams, evenly played games. But in the end, it's the Cubs that pull it off in 7 games and upset Connie Mack and the 1949 Athletics. Really hope you enjoyed this series. It was a good one. Back and forth in Series 118 for us. Out of the park baseball 20, never disappointing. This series is history. The 1990 Cubs moving on, defeating the 1949 Philadelphia Athletics in 7 games, winning the last one 6-3 at Shibe Park. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back with you shortly.